All right. Hi, friends. I just wanted to do a quick response to Coach Carbohydrate's video on Durianrider dispensing all sorts of propaganda on clipless pedals. And from the outset, I agree with what Coach Carbohydrate's saying in principle. However, I was not convinced by his experiment demonstrating regular shoes pulling on flat pedals. That didn't convince me at all. But like I said, I do agree with what he's saying in general, namely that 9 out of 10 times that I ride my bike, I'm going to ride in regular shoes on flat pedals, and there's nothing wrong with it. The most important point being that it does not prevent you from getting fit. Definitely not, in my opinion. Okay, but here's the point, and he obviously knows this already, but I think this is kind of how I think about it, right? So if this is the center of your cranks, if this is your crank arm, there's basically 4 moments of power exertion. At the bottom portion of the sweep, the arc of power, you're trying to pull backwards. And when your pedal reaches around here or so, now you're trying to pull upwards on the pedal. And then at this point, when the pedal's around here or so, you're trying to push the pedal forwards. And then around here or so, you're trying to push the pedal downwards. So you got some crank arms, sweet. Got to be careful with that one. So I think, here at this portion of the arc of power, you can push down on flat pedals pretty easily. When you're down here, or pretty efficiently, I should say, when you're around here or so, pulling backwards, I think those good studded pedals give you a good grip for sure, and you can pull backwards. But I don't believe that the efficiency of your backwards pulling motion is as good on well-studded, high-quality flat pedals as it would be on clipped-in pedals. You have more power if you're actually clipped into that thing when you're pulling backwards. Now, when you're around here and now you're trying to pull upwards, again, with the foot position like this, yeah, you do get some nice grip into the studs and whatnot, but there's no way that you're getting nearly as much power as you are. If you're clipped into that thing, you're able to pull the pedal up much. It's almost like you're attached to the pedal. I think you're losing a lot of power in flat pedals. And then once you get to around here and you're pushing over the top, again, it's the same kind of situation with this one. Yes, the studs have got you gripped in pretty nicely, but how much power are you losing relative to being clipped in? I'm not convinced that it's not a significant amount of power loss. And I think that's why, serious bicycle racers, if they're doing an effort, if they're racing, etc., are using clipless pedals. Oh, the terminology is rough, isn't it? Anyway, the whole idea is that you want to get as close as you can to having an even power output in this circular fashion. And I think with flat pedals and whatnot, it's more like you have a lot of power here and you have less power here. It's more like an oval or something along those lines. And this even circle is much easier. And I think, anyway, I made my point. Okay, so that's the way I see it. However, like I said, I think Coach Carbohydrate is still right. The flat pedals are usually a more life-friendly option. And for most people, it's going to be what they choose to ride every now and then. Or typically is what I mean. Okay, but I want to add my favorite solution for getting some more power than you would. Excuse me. Okay, so my favorite solution for getting a little bit more power than you would on flat pedals, but not as much as you would get with clipless pedals, is this system. So I imagine a lot of you have seen this. These are MKS pedals. I think they're the Sylvan pedal. Had these for a long time, but they're really, really nice. It's like a little track pedal. You're kind of supposed to have the ball of your foot or maybe slightly more midfoot on this pedal. But they've got these nice circular areas so that you can install all kinds of clips and straps. And I found that the power grip is the best. You've got this little metal bracket here. Of course, not all pedals can install this. You've got to have two spots in the front to get the metal bracket on there. And then you've got to have one in the back diagonally to get the back of this thing in there. But the power grip's cool. And again, I imagine a lot of you have seen this, but if you don't know what's going on, you put your foot in like this, kind of zygodlum askew, and then when you go like this, boom, it kind of locks you in a little bit. And you can, of course, use any shoe in this. It could just be like a tennis shoes or like a nice flat training shoe or whatever. And you've got an adjustment here that you can loosen up a little bit and drop the actual grip portion down, so that when you make your move and twist your foot into position, it really does grip you pretty strong. I think with this system especially, when you're pulling backwards in that power arc, it does really lets you pull backwards. And then also when you're here in the pedal arc, of course my back's upside down, so you're gonna have to like mirror it in your mind. But yeah, so when you're down here or so, pulling upwards on this power grip, I think it's without a question that you've got way more contact with the pedal than you would if you had good studs. Or, I mean, of course, but still, I think clipless pedals are going to be superior. All right, just wanted to throw in my my 2 cents on the issue. And yeah, I think the main thing is that you're cycling and enjoying it. But again, the great studded pedals, great flat studded pedals, excellent option. I recommend trying these power grips. The other thing is these are really easy to get out of. When you're in this situation, you literally just put your heel out sideways a little bit and the pedal basically just falls off. It's really, really simple to get out of once you get used to how these work. And I think the power you gain from using something like this is notable. Anyway, have a great day, y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.